Hello, this is Mr. Dixon. I'm coming at you from my office here at College Station High School. I wanted to give you a quick overview of our trip, talk about a few important things about what we're doing, the cost of the trip, and that kind of stuff. So kind of the important highlights that I can highlight for this trip. So I won't go into complete detail. Part of the package, you're going to get some information. There's going to be a lot more information in here that I won't read about that you can kind of go over, and then you'll have a link to sign up and all that jazz. So most importantly, the dates are going to be April 21st through 26th of 2026. Sorry, that sounded weird. In 2026. So it's going to be April, which is testing season, but I checked with our testing coordinator that the students are not going to miss any important EOCs or STAR tests during that time. Okay, so what does this trip include? Okay, it's kind of an all-inclusive thing. So it's going to include 5 nights of accommodations. This year, we're going to get rooms that have a 2-room suite, so up to 6 kids can stay in each room during this trip. So we'll get the group in 6 for this trip, and it includes this endless summer resort there in Orlando. So we're going to be staying technically on a Universal property. So that's always fun. We stayed there 4 years ago, and it was a really great experience. So we're going to do that again. Okay, it includes all the meals on the trip, and then breakfast, dinners, meals in the parks, and that kind of stuff. Each kid's gonna get a little like credit card with money on it, so that whenever we go to the park, it'll just be loaded with meal money. And so the kids will kind of go through that process, so it really makes it easy. And then breakfast will be provided at the hotel each day. Okay, so it includes 3 days at Universal, all 3 parks, including the new one. It's very epic, which is hence the name, Epic Universe. But in order for us to get to the new park, we had to do 3 days at Universal. But according to the word on the street, Universal is a more popular park anyway. So we'll go to Hollywood Studios and then Magic Mountain and spend 2 days at Disney. So we're going to be able to hit both. Okay. And the price includes all entry fees, parks, and that kind of stuff. And then we're going to participate in a Universal Studies Program educational special FX tour. That's a mouthful. But we're going to be able to go behind the scenes and see how they incorporate special effects and all that stuff into the rides and into different things going on at Universal. So that'll be our educational component. Now, included in this trip is also hotel security. So at nighttime, we're going to be at the hotel, and there's going to be 2 hired security guards that are going to walk around and watch our rooms, which is going to be a great thing for us to have. I've been on many trips where the chaperones and the directors had to stay up at night and watch the students, make sure they didn't leave their hotel rooms. And so that was really tough. So part of our package will include that. And then the students are going to get luggage tags, a travel backpack, and that kind of stuff. So it is a very all-inclusive trip. Lots of different things are covered. There may be some souvenir stuff that you're going to have to cover, but you could legitimately send your child with 0 money and they would survive, they would live, they would thrive, and they would enjoy themselves. Okay, so that's kind of the basic information about the trip. If you'd like to read more about it, I'll have it in the email coming up. Okay, I'm going to go over a quick itinerary for the trip. So this year we've decided to fly in the night before our first park visit. Last time we got up at 3 a.m. and met at the band hall at 3:30, flew in, went directly to Disney Springs, and so that was tough. So we're on Tuesday, April 21st, we're going to go ahead and let kids finish testing, and then we're going to fly out to Disney, Orlando, and then spend Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and part of Sunday at the parks, and then fly home late Sunday night so that they can be at school on Monday morning. They're going to be extremely tired, extremely exhausted, but we did want to get them back to where they could still have school on Monday. So according to the district policy, we can have 3 days outside of school. So that's why we chose Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then including 2 weekends for the trip so that we can follow CSISD protocol and still have a wonderful and fantastic trip. So each day, if you look in your packet, there is a itinerary in there. Okay, part of CCIS thing is complete custom. And so they've really got a good trip planned for us. They're going to have a representative that comes with us so that if we need to have anything dealt with as far as entertainment, park tickets, they'll be right there to help us along and make sure that we provide the absolute best experience for the students that we possibly can. So I'm really looking forward to working with CCIS. They're the same group that did our trip to Cozumel 2 years ago. So we appreciate what they've done for us, so we decided to use them again. All right, welcome back. I just want to kind of talk to you a little bit about how the registration process works, okay? So included, I'll have a link, and it takes you to this document, or it'll take you directly to the sign-in process. If you did take a trip with us to Cozumel, your information is still stored in. You can use that old login, or if you'd like to use a different email and go ahead and get logged in, you're going to have to develop an account for you and then your students so that you can get signed up, okay? So the registration deadline is going to be June the 9th of 2025. So that gives us just about a month for you to get registered and figure out if you want to go on the trip and everything. One of the cool things that CCI's Travel does is they have the ability to share a link that if you want to ask for donations or ask family members to help send your kid on this trip, you can share this direct link to your family, to your friends on Facebook, any socials. And if the person chooses to help you and help you send your child on this trip, it'll actually go directly to their group collect account. Okay, it's a really neat thing, and it should make it easy that if you want to have other people help your child go on the trip, that it's possible. And the final part, I know you've all been waiting to find out how much this trip is going to cost. So let me kind of explain it. It's going to take a little bit of an explanation. Okay, so CCIS is unique in the experience that they kind of deal with transportation and everything else separately. Okay, so the base price for the trip, if 100 to 112 students go, is going to be $1,329. Okay, so if there's less go, it kind of slightly increases that to $1,349. And then if even less go, then it's $1,369. So they're trying to kind of even it out. We get group discounts the more students that go. And so that base price of, we'll just say $1,329, covers all the meals, all the entrance to the parks, all that kind of stuff. And so that's kind of separate than transportation. So the transportation component is quite a bit different with CCAS, and I kind of like how they do it, and that's part of the reason why we chose it. So we don't understand, and we don't really know what transportation costs are going to be, because things can change in 6 months. Flights aren't out yet. We can't even book a flight for it yet. And so we've kind of got this other entity that we can kind of guesstimate how much it's going to cost. So the first thing that we need to talk about is the cost of the flight. Our goal is to travel out of Austin and Houston, and we'll fly out in separate groups and then meet in Orlando. Now, why do we do this? It's simply because we want to save you money. If we fly out of 2 different airports, we don't have to pack the plane. And so, especially with Southwest, our first ticket may be only $200, but then after you buy 150 tickets, the last ticket's like $900. They won't give you any group discounts. Now, United and the other groups will have a group discount, but generally that ticket is around $450 or $500. So what we've decided to do is kind of budget $500 for the flight. If we get cheaper tickets on Southwest, then that price comes off the cost of the trip, okay? And so that's kind of a strange component that we'll find out hopefully soon. But then the bus transportation when we're there is another component. And so if you look on the screen, I'll put up a little graphic here that shows us that there's a per charge per bus. So if we fill up a bus and have 56 passengers to get to and from Houston or Austin, the cost is only $43.45 a student. If we don't fill up the bus and it's only 36 for that bus, then it's going to be almost $70 per student. Okay, once we get to Orlando, all the buses in Orlando, if we fill up the bus, it's $91 per student. If we don't fill up the bus, it's $142 per student. So that's where that kind of flexibility comes in. So I kind of did a couple of different maths here, okay? I'll try to get this on your screen, okay? So option 1, base price of $1,329. If we fill up the bus and have a good number, that's $43 for Texas travel, plus $91 for Orlando travel, plus a $500 budget for the plane. So that's right at $1,963 per student, okay? Now, if our plane ticket drops $100, then that price drops $100, okay? Option 2, if we have less students go, and we have to kind of go to the top tier of all those price points, so that's $1,369 plus $67 plus $142 plus a $500 budget. For flights, that puts it at $2,078. So we really can't finalize exactly how much the trip is going to cost to prepare you for the price. So what I did is in the group collect system is we just kind of put it at $2,100 kind of as that max, okay? I don't expect it to go over. If gas prices go through the roof, you know, things may change a little bit. But right now we kind of set it at that top. So what we're hoping is that we can get cheaper flights, drop that price, and that we have the right number of students go so that we can have a legitimate bus, kind of full, not full, and that will help us lower the cost. So that base price is around $1,340, we'll say $1,350, and then based upon transportation, it'll tick on top of that. So I hope that makes sense. It's kind of a unique way of doing it. They don't do that. This is the only company that does it. Most don't. The next best quote I got was from Greenlight, and it was $2,400. So it's definitely something that is a good thing that should help us lower the cost, and then it'll actually pass those savings on to you. So what we've done is this first payment will be due. There's going to be a $250 deposit, and that is non-refundable. Okay, so you're going to do that deposit sometime in the month, and then there'll be a payment of around $200 for the next 10 payments, I believe, next 9 payments. I'd have to do the math real quick. So we've got payments scheduled May, June, July, nothing in August because of band dues, then September, October, November, December. And so that payment will come out just a little bit each month without August being on there, so that you can manage that payment and it's not quite break the bank all at once. So I hope that makes sense as far as how much it costs. Our goal is obviously to keep that price down as low as we can for our parents, but in all reality, with the last trip being about $1,650 4 years ago, lots have happened since then, and so prices are definitely more, unfortunately. So that is a sad part of inflation, but it is just something that we have to deal with. So if you're interested in just paying the whole thing all at once, you sure can. And so that's up for you and your family to decide. So I hope I've given you the information that you need to make an educated decision about our trip to Disney. And if you do have any questions, feel free to email me and I can answer those the best I can. Okay? So step 1, decide if you want to go. Step 2, go ahead and get registered. And then we'll have a good time in about a year. Okay? Thanks a lot.